it seems very simplistic. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a future slide. The trends, these are some reputable organizations. ASTD is American Society of Training and Development. They have done research on sales training. We're all familiar with sales training. We've been through sales training programs. 90% of all sales training programs increase in sales productivity within 90 to 120-day periods. So they see an increase in that sales productivity immediately after coming out of sales training. Sales reps are motivated and they're charged up and they apply those new principles. But what they found is over time, only 20% of companies see that last a year or longer. So it really kind of wears off. So what that stat says is sales training is effective in the short term, but it's not necessarily a long-term sustainable effort unless you have something to reinforce that over time, which is what sales coaching is about, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Richardson Research. Richardson, I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with Linda Richardson or the Richardson Company, global sales consulting and coaching company, very, very reputable, very impressed with them, so I've done a lot of research on what they've done. In 1998, they did a study, and it's a 10-year study they set out on in 98, so it went from 98 to 2008. And when they first did the study of the sales managers, they found that only 10% or less than 10% of sales managers actually coached their sales reps. Let me take a step back and tell you the difference between coaching and managing. Managing is you have a sales rep, they sit down with you once a week or maybe once every other week, you print off their pipeline report, and then sales managers will go down and look at each opportunity, ask the rep to give them some specific information on where they're at, see where they need help with, look at their key performance metrics, say you're not running enough meetings, you don't have enough opportunities, get out there and start selling them, pat them on the back and off they go. That's sales management. That's what a lot of sales managers are used to doing. Sales coaching is a little bit different. That's more of a question-based, get down into the weeds and really work with the rep to help and cultivate their skills and provide them some good ideas, but lead them to understanding what those ideas are and working with them more side by side on improving their skills, their abilities, and their results. And I'm going to walk you through what that method looks like and give you a little bit more detail on that. But that's really the difference. It's telling. Is sales management. A lot of sales managers tell versus asking, which is what a lot of sales coaches do effectively. They ask and lead a rep to understand why they're not performing well or why they are doing well, and then provide them some skills development, some new ideas on how to improve their abilities. So less than 10% in 98. 5 years later, it only went up to about 15%. But 2008, just last year, nearly half of all salespeople report being coached. So what that shows you now is that the awareness of sales coaching and the effectiveness, and I'm going to show you a very impressive stat coming up here. The awareness is out there. Now companies are wondering, how do we go about this? How do we implement a sales coaching framework and methodology that our management team can use and really drive results and improve our selling performance and results? Ventana Research in 2006 looked at the overall marketplace for sales-related applications, consulting, and training. And that's growing to $36 billion by 2010. So it's just a massive industry. The U.S. market for just sales performance applications, so a sales coaching platform that I'll show you, that is just narrowed down to sales performance, and that's going to be $4.2 billion by 2010. So that shows you growing market, large enough market out there. That's where we're putting our stake in the ground and going after. And then finally, Charlie does a world-class sales excellence report every single year, and they identify top 7 benchmarks of world-class sales organizations, and sales coaching was definitely one of those in this last year. So that shows you that there is a rise in understanding sales coaching.